In some other news, in a bid to ensure that all South Africans remember the trials and tribulations of the past but celebrate the victories of today, the symbolic 5 and 8 kilometre walk around the Constitutional Hill precinct is to highlight the significance of human rights and to recognise the role of those who participated in the struggle for freedom and democracy. Nozintombi Miya spoke to the CEO of the Constitutional Hill, Robertson.
Welcome back. We are here still at Constitution Hill, where participants started the walk here from Constitution Hill. They'll be taking a 1 kilometre, 5 kilometre, 8 kilometre walk from the Constitution Hill around the city of Johannesburg. It will be really a scenic walk, fun run to mark the end of the We the People Human Rights Festival that began on Human Rights Day. And to talk to us a bit more about this is the CEO of Constitution Hill, Robertson. Thank you so much for joining us. Just tell us, today is the last day of the festival. What have been some of the highlights of the festival?
Okay, let me start by saying thank you for getting up early and joining us here this morning. I think we're all still half asleep because we finished off at 2-3 this morning.
That's great.
So some of the highlights, we started on Human Rights Day. We started throughout the day with free tours for the public of Constitution Hill. And this is something we do every commemorative day. So the public should be aware that if it's a commemorative day, Constitution Hill is free and get on over. We then opened with a public lecture in the women's jail on Thursday evening, a public lecture on Robertson. We went into Friday with capacity building workshops for the civil society organizations the entire day, sponsored by Brand SA, which were very, very well received by the organizations. And then we opened the festival proper on Friday evening at 5 o'clock, and we have had since then and all today as well, so people can get on over here still. We had film screenings up in the women's jail. We've got a poetry festival running down here on the square. There's also theatre productions on the square. We've got a book festival with different books being launched and speakers on different books. One of the hits yesterday was Justice Albie Sachs in conversation with some young people, which was a really, really interesting intergenerational conversation. And then we also have something that's probably the core of the whole festival, which we call the Social Forum. And the Social Forum is curated by our social justice organizations, where they run dialogues around key issues that they're addressing. So, for example, you would have seen Greenpeace going through just now with their climate change thing. So they've done a big thing on clean air. We as Constitution Hill did a dialogue around the unfinished business of the TRC with various partners. So those conversations happened all of yesterday in the Social Forum, and they're continuing again today. So today we continue, last night we had the big Human Rights Festival, Stand Up for Human Rights, which was a huge success. And I'm pleased to say I've just come from the Jock tent and we had absolutely no incidents, which, everybody is terrified now after Global Citizens. But thanks to our partners in the city and the support of the various organizations, everything went so smoothly last night. And people, we closed down at 3 o'clock this morning and people were back here at 6 o'clock this morning to walk. And when they get back, the stalls open again, so the public can come over and meet the different social justice organizations. There's just under 100 social justice organizations who have set up stands on the site and are talking to the public about the work that they're doing. But most of all, they're encouraging people to stand up for human rights and to choose a cause that they're passionate about and work with those organizations to actually make a difference in everybody's life.
Great. So Dawn, today is the last day of the festival. You've told us all the wonderful things that you've done in the course of the festival. But going forward, what are some of the programs that you've got planned for the rest of this year?
So as Constitution Hill, we constantly run programs throughout the year. So we will continue these human rights discussions. We do programs with children to get school kids, to get them to understand the Constitution, then their rights and obligations in terms of the Bill of Rights. We have our big Basha Uhuru Festival, which happens in June, and that's our youth festival. And we really focus there on young people, the creative economy, and how the arts and creativity kind of influences social movements and just social justice movements, because we always underpin everything we do with that kind of thing. So we regularly have dialogues, we regularly have film things, but our core business are tours, which are really about exposing, firstly, South African public and our local communities as to what happened on the site, the atrocities of the site, and how special the site is as the only prison complex in the world that now locates its highest court in the land, the Constitutional Court. So that's our core business. But we do a lot of other stuff around that in terms of our programming and stuff.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Dawn Robertson, the CEO of Constitution Hill, just giving us a bit of insight about some of the activities that have taken place over the past couple of days, while the We the People Human Rights Festival has taken place in and around here in Constitution Hill. You'll recall participants have really gotten off to start their 1 kilometre, 5 kilometre and 8 kilometre runs, and it will be taking them on a scenic route around the inner city of Johannesburg, and participants will end the walk back here at Constitution Hill, where they'll be able to enjoy some festivities here inside the Constitution Hill. With that, it's back to you in the studio for now.